What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Back with my original segment, Boxingego's First Look. A tale of the tape, a sneak peek, a preview of the fight before the fight, give you some vital statistics. Less opinion, more talk. Let's get it in. Sergey Kovalev, light heavyweight champion, against new light heavyweight challenger, contender, Super 6 winner in another division, super middleweight, Andre SOG Ward. This is perhaps the best fight in terms of meaningful fights in boxing this year. There's been some great fights, but this one might take the cake in terms of it's looking like these two guys facing each other, they would only lose to each other, if that makes sense. Meaning, if anybody could beat Andre Ward, I think it would be a guy like Sergey Kovalev. If anybody could beat Sergey Kovalev, I think it would be a guy like Andre Ward. That's what makes good boxing. Styles make fights, and that's what makes this fight meaningful and compelling. We know what Andre Ward has done in the past. The Super 6 tournament. Guys like Chad Dawson. You can make arguments, oh, Chad Dawson, he dropped down a division. Guess what? Chad Dawson, when he fought, grew up and ballooned up the night of the fight. 2, Chad Dawson called out Andre Ward after one of his fights. Post-fight interview, he says, I'll fight Andre Ward, I'll come to you. So don't start none, won't be none. I mean, Andre Ward just met him and took him up on his offer. It is what it is. But Ward has done this. He's taken several people's O's, like Edwin Rodriguez, who just won a tournament, a super middleweight tournament in Monte Carlo, and he just knocked out the guy in the first round, Denis Grachev, and Ward took him on after that. Not to mention Rodriguez missed weight and came in and missed weight the next day. They had to renegotiate. Paul Smith missed weight, right? Another undefeated fighter he recently beat was his first fight at the full light heavyweight, Sullivan Barrera, undefeated Cuban puncher who was coming off a knockout win over Cairo Murat, who went the distance with Bernard Hopkins. So we know his pedigree. We know Kovalev is the crusher, right? Jean Pascal, he went into his backyard, beat him into submission twice. Jean Pascal, after the first fight, got a new trainer, Freddie Roach. Guess what? Kovalev did what he did the first fight, and maybe it just took a little bit longer, but it was probably a worse beating. Pascal actually had some spots where he shined for a little bit in the first fight. The second fight, Pascal got dominated with the new trainer, right? And this is no news. This is no new news for Kovalev. He always goes in people's backyard. Nathan Cleverly, he does this. He takes on mandatories like Mohammadi, and it makes it look like easy work. His last fight, however, he fought Isaac Chilemba. Not his best performance, but he still got a knockdown. He still shined in front of his hometown crowd in Russia, and he got the job done, right? Chilemba's never been stopped, so you can't really hold that against him. This, by far, is the best fight to be made at light heavyweight. There's been a lot of talks in the past about Andre Ward fighting Kovalev and guys like Adonis Stevenson, but a lot of politics got in the way. HBO, they did a new multi-fight deal with Andre Ward. They said, hey, you get to take up to two tune-up fights, and then the third fight you fight Kovalev. They both camps agreed to that, and now we're getting it. And no one can say Ward's been inactive as of lately, because he fought Sullivan Barrera in March. He came back and fought against Alexander Brand, and now he's fighting Kovalev in November. So he's actually more active this year than most fighters, you know what I mean? Not that many guys that I could think of will fight 3 times this year. Canelo's not, he's out with injury. Golovkin might if the Danny Jacobs fight comes on, etc. So this is just a great fight for boxing. Boxing needs this, and to me, this is the number 1 pound for pound person. Whoever wins this fight, based on what they've done independently, when you match those two people who are on most respected top 5 pound for pound lists right now, as is, right? And then they square off against each other. What do you have? The number 1 pound for pound person after Floyd Mayweather left. Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Sergey Kovalev has an undefeated record of 30-0, 1 draw. Ward has the identical record minus the draw. He's also 30-0. Age, almost as close as you can get it. Kovalev being 33, Ward a year younger at age 32 at the time of this video. The height, they're both listed at 6 foot tall, and I've seen Kovalev look taller, and I've seen Ward look taller, so it might be with shoes. So maybe they're both actually 6 feet tall. I've met both of them. I'm taller than both of them, and they look about the same height from when I've interviewed with them, right? The weight will take place at light heavyweight, 175 pounds. And again, with the reach, Kovalev has a longer reach, 72.5 inches to Ward's 71 inch. So if you guys just look at the tail of the tape, it does not get much closer than this. These guys' record, age, height, they're clearly fighting in light heavyweight, the same division, no catch weights, no nothing. And reach, they're all very comparable numbers. Sometimes you see a guy have a 4-inch reach advantage or 2.5-inch height advantage. There's none of that. That's what's making this such a great fight. Everybody should support this. HBO pay-per-view, November 19th. I'm going to try to go to Las Vegas for this. It's just that type of fight. It's a meaningful fight, and it's a legacy fight for both fighters. And I really like the fight. They both have a good jab. I'm still breaking down the fight. I'll probably do a 7 reasons on this particular one, but no complaints over here. This is worth every dollar based on the magnitude of what it means. This is happening at the T-Mobile Arena, brand new arena, main event. Shout out to them. Shout out to Rock Nation. Shout out to Ward. Shout out to Kovalev for getting this done, because boxing needs more fights like this instead of Canelo versus Triple G and letting it marinate, and Adonis Stevenson versus Kovalev, and this fight taking forever to actually manifest. This fight was made with relatively little to no strife. I didn't really see too much. There was some hoopla about Ward missing a press conference, and I told you guys, chill, don't worry about that. It's not really a big deal, and it turned out not to be a big deal because we're getting this great fight. I hope both fighters have a good training camp. Boxingego first look. Make sure you drop your comments below. Let me know who's going to win this fight. How will they win that fight? Crusher versus SOG. Subscribe. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.